Welcome to News Desk on Celebration TV. I am Comfort James.
And I'm Femima.
And the news making the rounds. Please stay with us as we bring you details.
Watch robust, objective, analytical, informative, educative, entertaining and inspiring news on Celebration TV News Desk. Every weekday, 11 a.m. GMT plus 1. That is 11 a.m. GMT plus 1 on Mondays through Fridays.
You are welcome to Sports Corner. I am Ivan Agafe.
Celebration TV News Desk. The whole truth.
To 15.7 trillion naira at the end of December 2019.
Senior Democrats have responded by accusing him of committing aggressive.
The All Progressives Congress has vowed to punish the Ogun State Governor, Ibikule Amosu.
You're welcome to Celebration Television News Desk. I am Nicholas Akosle Walter. Here are the news making the headlines. On school reopening, ministry lists guidelines and omits resumption date. Zindzi Mandela, Mandiba's daughter, dies in South African hospital. California reimposes sweeping restrictions amid virus spike. UK economy shrinks by 1/5 under lockdown. Court lifts Man City Champions League ban. Please stay with us as we bring you details of the news after the short break. All right, thanks for joining us once again. Now the news and details. There was confusion over reopening of schools in the country as the federal government issued guidelines but failed to mention the resumption date for the schools. The guidelines for the reopening of schools were contained in a document titled Guidelines for Schools and Learning Facilities Reopening After COVID-19 Pandemic Closures, taking responsibility for safe schools and quality learning. It was signed by the Minister of Education, Malama Adamu, and Minister of State for Education, Mr. Chukwuemeka Nwajuba. The Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 had, at its press briefing on June 29, said the federal government had approved the resumption of graduating pupils in Primary 6, Junior Secondary School 3, and Senior Secondary School 3. He said the resumption would enable the pupils to prepare for their final examinations. The task force said the West African Examinations Council had fixed the West African Senior School Certificate examination for between August 3rd and September 5th. Despite putting the resumption on hold, the Federal Ministry of Education issued guidelines for the reopening of the schools. According to guidelines, the safe distancing measures require that in school and other learning facilities, learners should be supported to stay 2 meters apart. The document states that where the 2-meter rule could not be reasonably applied, other risk mitigation strategies should be adopted. The government said with the release of the documents, it would conduct a rapid assessment of funding requirements for upgrading infrastructure such as classrooms, furniture and water to meet prescribed safe school reopening requirements. And moving forward quickly from Lagos State urges doctors to end strike and resume work. The Lagos State government has urged striking doctors under the aegis of Medical Guide Lagos to suspend their strike. The Commissioner for Information, Mr. Gbenga Motosho, in a statement assured residents of the state that while negotiations was ongoing, services at all state-owned health facilities could still be accessed. Gbenga said it is pertinent to note that the state government expresses extreme disappointment that the guide continued with their warning strike despite series of engagements with the state government aimed at resolving some of the grievances raised. Many issues have already been resolved, while unresolved issues are still being deliberated upon. Omotosho said the state government was trying its best to meet the demands of the striking doctors. The chairman, Medical Guide Lagos, Dr. Oluwajimi Sodipo, in an interview confirmed that negotiations between the guide and the state government was ongoing. And on other stories quickly, new electricity law on the way, says Nigerian Senate. The chairman, Senate Committee on Powers, Senator Gabriel Suswan, has assured Nigerians that the problems associated with the quality of electricity supply in the country will soon be addressed with a legal framework. He said the state was putting together a comprehensive electricity bill in collaboration with the Nigeria Electricity Regulatory Commission to tackle the challenges facing the consumers, the suppliers, and the regulators. Suswan stated this when he led the Senate Committee on Power and Oversight function to NEC head office. The senator said the electricity distribution companies operating in the country had acceded to the appeal by the National Assembly to suspend their planned tariff hike, which should have started in August. The chairman, chief executive officer of the NEC, Professor James Momoh, said the electricity sector in Nigeria required $2.1 billion to provide additional infrastructure to boost supply, bring in investors, and improve the quality of life. He noted that infrastructure in the sector had deteriorated with obsolete equipment capable of generating 13,000 megawatts installed power capacity. Momoh lamented that only 5,000 megawatt generated was available for distribution by the DISCOs. Speaking to journalists on the sidelines of the visit, Momoh said the suspended tariff would not have affected the poor. He said the regulator had mandated the distribution company now to include those with low purchasing power in the tariff increase process. The NEC boss stated that the mechanism was developed that would absorb poor Nigerians from the proposed tariff hike. And coming from around Africa, Zindzi Mandela, Madiba's daughter, dies in South African hospital. Wow. South Africa's ambassador to Denmark has died in Johannesburg at the age of 59, family source has confirmed. Ambassador Zindzi Mandela was the daughter of South Africa's anti-apartheid icons Nelson Mandela and Nomzamo Winnie Madikizela. She was the youngest daughter of the couple and is reputed to have spent many years involved in South Africa's freedom struggle. She was deeply involved in the art, philanthropy, and business. She is a co-founder of the Mandela Legacy Foundation and also managing trustee of the Nelson Mandela Children's Fund. South Africa's social media space has been bustling with tons of tribute to Zindzi, who was a staunch activist against maladministration. Zindzi dies on the same day in 1969 when Mandela's eldest son, Madiba Thembekile, also died in a car accident. The Nelson Mandela Foundation posted in its daily updates on the life of the globally celebrated statesman. Zindzi Mandela was a household name nationally and internationally, who during her years of struggle brought home the inhumanity of the apartheid system and the unshakable resolve of the fight for freedom. After liberation, she became an icon of the task of transforming their society and stepping into spaces and opportunities that had been denied to generations of South Africans. Wow, may her soul rest in peace. Still from around Africa, South Africa bans alcohol sale, imposes curfew 10. South African President Cyril Ramaphosa says the country will immediately return to a ban on the sale of alcohol to reduce the volume of trauma patients so that hospitals have more beds open to treat COVID-19 patients. Confronted by surging hospitalizations due to the coronavirus, South Africa is also reinstating a night curfew to reduce traffic accidents and made it mandatory for residents to wear face masks when in public. Ramaphosa said in a national televised address that top health officials warn of impending shortages of hospital beds and medical oxygen as South Africa reaches a peak of COVID-19 cases expected between the end of July and September. He said some hospitals have had to turn away patients because all their beds are full. South Africa's rapid increase in imported cases has made it one of the world centers for COVID-19, as it is ranked as the 9th country most affected by the disease, according to Johns Hopkins University. Ramaphosa said that since the sale of alcohol was reintroduced on June, hospitals have experienced a spike in admissions in their trauma and emergency wards. The countrywide curfew mandates that people must not be on the roads between 9 p.m. and 4 a.m. We'll go on a very short break. When we'll come back, we'll bring you updates from US. Stay with us.
Welcome to News Desk on Celebration TV. I am Comfort James.
And I'm Femima.
And the news making the rounds.
Please stay with us as we bring you details. Watch robust, objective, analytical, informative, educative, entertaining and inspiring news on Celebration TV News Desk. Every weekday, 11 a.m. GMT plus 1, that is 11 a.m. GMT plus 1 on Mondays through Fridays.
You are welcome to Sports Corner. I am Ivan Agafe.
Celebration TV News Desk, the whole truth. Fight for glory, desire for victory.
I am Lizzie Johnson Suleiman, and I want to use this time out to invite all the women watching me right now. It's our International Women Conference again. I know you will not want to miss this. Regardless of what is happening, we are trusting God that God is set to do something great in our midst.
Power! Happy sounds! 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 Power!
The theme for this conference this year is No More Tears, and the date is on the 12th, the 13th and 14th of August. God's servant Apostle Johnson Suleiman will be with us, ministering greatly, and God using him to reach out to us again. So you don't want to miss this. Just get set, prepare yourself to be in this meeting.
Touch! 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 Touch!
It's a time of revival. It's a time of revitalization. It's a time to get ourselves hooked up again, connected again to the supernatural, and you see what God will do in your life. The Lord bless you.
Live at the International Worship Center, Omega Fire Ministries, Auchi, Dove State, Nigeria. International Women Conference 2020.
Welcome to News Desk on Celebration TV. I am Comfort James.
And I'm Femima.
And the news making the rounds.
Please stay with us as we bring you details. Watch robust, objective, analytical, informative, educative, entertaining and inspiring news on Celebration TV News Desk. Every weekday, 11 a.m. GMT plus 1, that is 11 a.m. GMT plus 1 on Mondays through Fridays.
You are welcome to Sports Corner. I am Ivan Agafe.
Celebration TV News Desk, the whole truth.
Welcome to News Desk on Celebration TV. I am Comfort James.
And I'm Femima.
And the news making the rounds.
Please stay with us as we bring you details. Watch robust, objective, analytical, informative, educative, entertaining and inspiring news on Celebration TV News Desk. Every weekday, 11 a.m. GMT plus 1, that is 11 a.m. GMT plus 1 on Mondays through Fridays.
You are welcome to Sports Corner. I am Ivan Agafe.
Celebration TV News Desk, the whole truth.
All right, welcome back and thanks for joining us once again. Now, updates from United States. California reimposes sweeping restrictions amid virus spike. California has reimposed restrictions on businesses and public spaces amid a spike of coronavirus infection in America's most populous state. Governor Gavin Newsom ordered an immediate halt to all indoor activities at restaurants, bars, entertainment venues, zoos, and museums. In the worst affected counties of the southwestern U.S. state, churches, gyms, and hairdressers will also close. California has more than 330,000 COVID-19 cases with more than 7,000 deaths. The reimposition of the restrictions in the state with nearly 40 million people was prompted by a 20% rise in people testing positive in the past 2 weeks, and increasing numbers of Californians are now needing intensive care. Infections have risen rapidly in about 40 of America's 50 states over the last 2 weeks, according to an analyst. Along with California, Florida, Arizona, and Texas have emerged as centers of the pandemic. Towns and counties across Florida have been reinstating restrictions that were lifted in May when infections began to drop. But on the East Coast, New York City, which in April had one of the highest COVID-19 death rates in the world, recorded no new fatalities from the disease for the first time in 4 months. More updates from France. Historic pay rises for French health workers. France has approved pay rises worth 8 billion euro, which is an equivalent of $9 billion for health workers, with the government hailing their role in fighting coronavirus. The deal was signed with trade unions after weeks of negotiations and will see wages rise by 183 euro a month on average. Health workers have been praised throughout the pandemic with regular displays of public appreciations, but they wanted more than recognition and have had protests to demand pay rises and better funding for hospitals. The announcements came as the country prepares to celebrate a scaled-down Bastille Day today, a national public holiday during which health workers will be celebrated for their efforts during the pandemic. More than 200,000 infections and 30,000 deaths have been recorded in France, one of Europe's worst hit countries. And quickly on business news, UK economy shrinks by 1/5 under lockdown. The UK's economy shrank by 19.1% in the 3 months to May as the full impact of lockdown was felt, the Office for National Statistics has said. The economy actually grew by 1.8% in May, but this was not enough to make up for the fall of 6.9% in March and the record 20.4% decline in April. Manufacturing and house building show signs of recovery in May as some businesses saw staff return to work. Mr. Arthur said that there could be signs of improvement in next month's release of figures. May's modest month-on-month expansion was less than 5% or so that economists had expected. It came as sectors such as manufacturing, construction, DIY, retailers and garden centers were allowed to reopen. Manufacturing grew by more than 8% during the month, as did construction. And still on business news, bank to place chronic loan defaulters on watch lists. The Central Bank of Nigeria released the guidelines aimed at reducing non-performing loans in the banking sector and monitoring chronic loan defaulters. The Central Bank of Nigeria released the guidelines through a circular to all banks and other financial institutions with the title Operational Guidelines on Global Standing Instruction Individuals. The Apex Bank said it collaborated with stakeholders to develop necessary protocols to facilitate a seamless implementation of the GSI process, including eligible loans granted from August 28, 2019. He stated that the guidelines will take effect from August 1, 2020. Under the guidelines, Creditors Bank would ensure that borrowers were properly educated about the GSI mandate and its implications and enshrine same in their loan application process. The banks would review and validate the GSI mandate instrument prior to loan disbursement. The Central Bank of Nigeria stated that the banks would retain copies of physical or digital version of the executed GSI mandate and provide same when required. The CBN added that the participating financial institutions must execute the GSI mandate agreement with NIBSS. We'll go on a short break. We'll come back. We'll bring us news from the sporting world as court has already lifted Man City's Champions League ban. We'll go on a short break. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome to News Desk on Celebration TV. I am Comfort James.
And I'm Femi.
And the news making the rounds.
Please stay with us as we bring you details. Watch robust, objective, analytical, informative, educative, entertaining and inspiring news on Celebration TV News Desk. Every weekday, 11 a.m. GMT plus 1, that is 11 a.m. GMT plus 1, and Mondays through Fridays.
You are welcome to Sports Corner. I am Ivan Agafe.
Celebration TV News Desk, the whole truth. Fight for glory, desire for victory.
I am Lizzie Johnson Suleiman, and I want to use this time out to invite all the women watching me right now. It's our International Women Conference again. I know you will not want to miss this. Regardless of what is happening, we are trusting God that God is set to do something great in our midst.
Power! Happy sounds! 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 Power!
The theme for this conference this year is No More Tears, and the date is on the 12th, the 13th and 14th of August. God's servant Apostle Johnson Suleiman will be with us, ministering greatly, and God using him to reach out to us again. So you don't want to miss this. Just get set, prepare yourself to be in this meeting.
Touch! 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 Touch!
It's a time of revival. It's a time of revitalization. It's a time to get ourselves hooked up again, connected again to the supernatural, and you see what God will do in your life. The Lord bless you.
Live at the International Worship Center, Omega Fire Ministries, Auchi, Dove State, Nigeria. International Women Conference 2020.
Welcome to News Desk on Celebration TV. I am Comfort James.
And I'm Femi.
And the news making the rounds.
Please stay with us as we bring you details. Watch robust, objective, analytical, informative, educative, entertaining and inspiring news on Celebration TV News Desk. Every weekday, 11 a.m. GMT plus 1, that is 11 a.m. GMT plus 1, and Mondays through Fridays.
You are welcome to Sports Corner. I am Ivan Agafe.
Celebration TV News Desk, the whole truth.
All right, welcome to Sports News. Court lifts Man City Champions League ban. Manchester City will be free to play Champions League football next season after Court of Arbitration for Sports lifted a 2-season ban from European competition imposed by UEFA. An initial fine of €30 million was also reduced to €10 million on appeal. City were accused of deliberately inflating the value of income from sponsors with links to the Abu Dhabi United Group, also owned by City owner Sheikh Mansour, to avoid falling foul of financial fair play regulations between 2012 and 2016. The case against City was reopened when German magazine Der Spiegel published a series of leaked emails in 2018. City welcomed the decision that will have huge ramifications on the club's finances and potentially the future of manager Pep Guardiola and star players such as Kelvin De Bruyne and Raheem Sterling. Since Sheikh Mansour's takeover 12 years ago, City's fortune have been transformed from perennially living in the shadow of local rivals Manchester United to winning 4 Premier League titles in the past 8 years among 11 major trophies. On Saturday, they secured qualifications for the Champions League for a 10th consecutive season with a 5-0 win at Brighton. More silverware could come before the end of the season as Guardiola's side face Arsenal in the FA Cup semi-finals on Saturday before restarting their Champions League campaign in August, holding a 2-1 lead over Real Madrid from the first leg of their first 16 tie. And in another sports news, Mourinho targets 3rd Europa League title with Spurs next season. Tottenham boss Jose Mourinho has set his sight on winning next season's Europa League if his side can qualify, even though he admits it is not a competition he's in love with. Spurs actually took a big step towards reaching the second-tier European competition with a 2-1 win against Arsenal. Mourinho has already won the Europa League with Manchester United and with Porto in his earlier guise as the UEFA Cup, and wants his side to allow him a crack at a third. The 7 players could be enough to secure qualification depending on results in the FA Cup. While the victory helped Spurs' European ambitions, it dealt a major blow to Arsenal's. Boss Mikel Arteta has vowed to keep on fighting until all hope has gone. That's brought us to the end of the news on our Celebration Television News Desk. And in case you're just joining us, you missed out on our news articles, here's the news headline recap. School reopening. Ministry lists guidelines and omits resumption date. Zindzi Mandela, Madiba's daughter, dies in South African hospital. California reimposes sweeping restrictions amid virus spike. UK economy strained by 1/5 under lockdown. And Court leaves Man City Champions League ban. Quickly, we have quote for the day, a quote of the day, or the photo of the day. If you get tired, learn to rest, not to quit. That's true. Anytime you're tired, get rest, because in the course of resting, you're actually recovering, you are gaining more strength, more energy, you're actually reinforcing to actually press forward, to gain more knowledge, to know how to go about life in order to actualize your dreams. You can as well drop your comment on social media platforms on Facebook, Celebration TV, Instagram, My Celebration TV, Twitter at My Celebration TV, YouTube, Celebration TV. Remember that the continuous transformation of our society is a collective responsibility of all. No matter the office you hold today as a nation's president, a thought leader, an opinion molder, a character builder, a professional, or a person pursuing passion, you have a duty to give your all to making the society a better place for us and the generations to come. Play your part today and do it with all diligence. Thanks once again for staying with us on our news desk. I remain Nicholas Akosile Walter. God bless you. To 15.7 trillion naira at the end of December 2019.
Senior Democrats have responded by accusing him of committing a gross of. The All
Progressives Congress has vowed to punish the Ogun State Governor, Ibikule Amoso.